DLC fighter.
We waited all night for this.
Actually,
8 straight hours.
There are so many wrong answers. Oh my god, it's 3 houses. They're really doing a 3 houses rep.
Fire. God! Dang. Really?
Kylo Ren! Oh my god.
No.
Oh, no.
Somebody's coming. There's no way.
I think it's a juke.
I think it's a. I hope it's a debate. I don't know if I think it, but I hope it.
Are you prepared to die? Minds will
There's
cease
no
to
way it's
be.
Byleth.
There's no.
There's
you
no way
prepared
it's
to
the
die?
Fire Emblem Three Houses protagonist. There's no way this is what they're doing. There's no way, dude.
There is no other choice.
Maybe it's a trick. Dante's about to
You
come out.
must-
2 people are gonna get so mad.
There's no other choice.
This is the first non-third party character in the whole DLC pack.
It's just a sword character.
Oh, look, there goes the festival.
Damn, I'm so happy that they included a sword character from Fire Emblem. We've been wanting that for so long. It's like all the fans finally are getting what they wanted.
I still can't believe it's a Fire Emblem character. Oh my god, so many fucking people are gonna be so pissed.
Yikes. So recently, Nintendo announced the 5th and final character of their DLC Fighters Pass. This was a character that was led up with a lot of hype. People who were expecting a lot of gaming icons, like Dante from Devil May Cry. They were expecting Crash Bandicoot. They were expecting Geno from Super Mario RPG, Waluigi. Like, people were expecting a lot of stuff. There was a lot of speculation, a lot of leaks about this. And we had to wait a third of a year for it. Over 100 days of radio silence for this character. Then, January 14th, I believe it was, they announced there would be a Sakurai Direct. Well, Mr. Sakurai Presents, but basically just a Sakurai Direct. Where Masahiro Sakurai, the developer of Smash Bros., would come on and announce who the new character was and show gameplay of them, as well as give a release date. People were waiting for it because it was going to be on the 16th. People were waiting for this, and they were looking forward to this. People were going crazy. It didn't live up to the hype. What we got wasn't another gaming icon. It was Byleth from Fire Emblem Three Houses. And don't get me wrong, I loved Fire Emblem Three Houses. I got the game, I played through it. I still have to finish like a route, and there's a DLC route, but I am also upset, but I'll get to that in a second. There was a lot of outrage to this character being announced for Smash Bros. Ultimate, and this just has to do with the kind of Fire Emblem favoritism that's been going on with Smash Bros. Or at least that's what the community has dubbed it. What it is basically there is almost as many Fire Emblem characters as there is Pokemon and Mario characters. And there's more Fire Emblem characters than there are Legend of Zelda characters. And usually people are more prone to think that Fire Emblem characters don't inherently deserve a spot on the roster because they aren't nearly as successful as Mario, being the #1 grossing video game of all time and the icon of Nintendo. Pokemon is the highest grossing media of all time, and also a huge staple of Nintendo. And Legend of Zelda is Legend of Zelda. It is one of the best-selling games of all time. Legend of Zelda 2 was one of the top 10 best sellers ever. It helped create the video game genre, and then people just see Fire Emblem and they're just kind of like another sword character. While that's not inherently true, that all Fire Emblem characters are the same, that just kind of became a stigma with the character, that all the characters were the same, because when Marth was announced for Melee, no one had ever heard of him, and Roy was just kind of like worse Marth. Then Ike came around and he was kind of different, but people just kind of felt like he was a clunkier version of Marth. And personally, I think like a lot of what Ike does is similar to Marth. It's like all of his moves are different, but they all serve kind of the same function, if that makes sense. Lucina is just a straight up is an Echo Fighter. That's what she is. Roy got an Echo Fighter with Chrom, and at this point they'd already announced Robin, who at that point, that's when things started to get crazy, because there's 3 Fire Emblem representatives from Fire Emblem Awakening alone. And the thing with this is that at this point, people had stopped caring whether or not the character was unique. Because by the time Corrin came around, their character got announced for Smash before their game came out. If I'm remembering correctly, but Roy was in Melee before his own game was released in Japan. He was in his first video game appearance was Melee. And then now we get Byleth. And I think Byleth is by far the most unique Fire Emblem character we've got. I think they're more unique than Robin. I think they're more unique than Ike or Corrin. But I get why people are upset. I was upset too because, again, I just kind of thought like, okay, we're just getting kind of like a repackaged version of Marth. And they are different. They have a lot of different things. But I don't like their moveset that much. I don't know. I haven't been able to play the character, obviously, since they haven't come out yet. But I think the way they look, like the way their moveset kind of works, it just kind of feels clunky and mixed together. Like, every time they use the axe, it looks like they're a heavyweight. It was like, I see their down smash and I think, okay, that's like an Ike down smash or a Bowser down smash. But then I see their forward smash, I'm like, okay, that looks like kind of like how the Belmont is, a zoner forward smash. And it's just a lot. Their nair looks like a rush down combo nair. Like, it feels like all of their moves are good, but that they don't work together, if that makes sense. It doesn't feel like they fit in anything. And it feels like what they're going to end up being is kind of going to be a weird mix of playstyles, which could be really cool, or it could kind of be bad. It could be garbage. I don't know. I have faith in Sakurai and the rest of the Smash Ultimate development team because, hey, all like 5 DLC characters that have come out. I was going to say 4, but I forgot Piranha Plant. Hey, I didn't have a picture of Piranha Plant for me, okay? Anyway, I kind of forgot about Piranha Plant, but excluding Piranha Plant, the rest of the 4 DLC have been some of my most played characters. Joker, I mean, like, Joker's my main. He's like my most played character. Then I play Hero a lot. I have a lot of fun with Banjo, but Christian's the one who mains him, but I still have a lot of fun with Banjo, and I think Terry's just brain dead fun, which is weird because he's a Shoto character, so you should think more. Anyway, I don't know. They all just they're just fun. All the characters in this DLC pack have been fun. I feel like my money was well spent. I do that. I do believe that. Like, I feel like they have been coming through with all the characters so far. So I hope it's the same for Byleth. And there's a lot of rage towards Sakurai and his team about putting in another Fire Emblem character. And even in Japan, they're not inherently happy. Check out Zero's video on Japan's reaction. Fire Emblem is a very successful game. It is successful. Not nearly to the extent that, say, Pokemon is or Mario is, but they are successful. The main issue with this specifically is that I think it's our 8th Fire Emblem character. And I understand that the game's not inherently curved around a competitive mindset. It's curved around a casual mindset. So while Legend of Zelda is an incredible franchise, the main focus of it isn't inherently the characters, because it's just the same 3 of Link, Zelda, and Ganon. At least usually. They are not the focus. The focus is mostly on the items, like the Triforce and Link's bombs, and how you use those items. That's what the focus of the game is, so there's a lot of Legend of Zelda items in the game. The main focus of Pokemon is the Pokemon. So obviously, not only is there the Pokemon that you can play as, but there's also the Pokeball item and the Master Ball item that have a complete arsenal of Pokemon that you can use at your disposal, that you have at your disposal. Mario's kind of weird because their main focus is kind of the characters, the stages, and the items. Like, they have a mix of all 3, so it makes sense that they have a lot of all 3. They're Mario, so they have a lot of all. They have a lot of stages, they have a lot of characters, they have a lot of items. Like, they have a lot of everything. And Fire Emblem, their main thing is the characters. So it makes sense, if you think about it like that, it makes sense there's a lot of characters. But the thing is, even if it is balanced around a casual mindset, the game's most predominant feature is a celebration of gaming. As Sakurai said, it's the characters. That's what you're focusing on when you play the game. When you play the game, you're not really hoping like, oh, gee, I certainly hope I get this item. Like, you might, but that's not why you play the game. Like, people don't say, like, I always go for this item. Like, this is my item. I main this item. No, they say I main this character. When they talk about Smash Bros., they talk about which character they play. So, while it may be balanced around that mindset, it just feels a bit unfair that certain characters are more promoted. Like, certain games are more promoted. And I understand that people believe that's unjust, but there is some reasoning and justification behind it. My issue is that Fire Emblem, like, the reason Byleth is in Smash is they were decided to be in Smash roughly about 3 or 4 months before their game came out. Because they said that they had finalized the DLC decision around November, December. That's when they had finalized. They'd already decided who all the DLC characters were going to be. They put Byleth in before, and that just feels like a marketing ploy. And it is. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. That's why Korn was in Smash. That's why Marth was in Smash even. That's why so many of these characters were put in the game to help promote who they are. Like, I know so many people who didn't know who Samus was before Smash Bros. Like, they know Samus from Smash Bros. They know Ness from Smash Bros. They don't know them from Earthbound or Metroid. They know them from this game. And so, putting another Fire Emblem character in promotes Three Houses. Now, with Fire Emblem being one of the best-selling games of the year, it makes more sense. So, if they had put Fire Emblem into the next DLC pass, I would have been more forgiving towards it. It's just, I'm upset that, personally, my $6 was put into basically what's an advertisement to me. That's kind of why I'm upset. I don't know. That's just kind of my viewpoint on things. And another reason why I say, like, the item argument isn't too valid is because they aren't asking you to pay money for DLC items. I also think Byleth was probably one of the worst characters to end this DLC pass on. Like, if it had ended with Joker, that would have been hype. I'm really glad Joker was the first, obviously, since I've had more time to play him, but I feel like that would have been a more of a lasting memory. If it had been Banjo, Western audiences would have lost their mind. If it had been Dragon Quest, like, Japan audiences would have lost their mind. And I feel like with either of those, both sides would have been at least a little happy. Like, okay, Like, if the last one was Hero, then Japan would be losing their minds, and America would be like, okay, well, at least we got Banjo. And vice versa, if Banjo was the last one. If it had been Terry, people would have been a little upset, but then once they learn about all his history and how important Fatal Fury was to the fighting game genre, then I feel like people would have been a bit more forgiving, because he's an icon of gaming, even if you yourself didn't know who he was. Byleth is just a character that has so much controversy around it. Like, their character reveal trailer has been so heavily disliked, and just all this negative backlash. I don't think that was the best character to end it on. I definitely think this was the worst character from the Fire Pass that they could have ended it on. That being said, I do not condone any of the people who go after like Masahiro Sakurai or any of his team, because those people are just idiotic. And at the end of the day, it's a game. It's a game that, like, granted, people love to play, but it's a game, and whoever Sakurai puts in, he's gonna make them look like they're the most creative character in the world. Like, he put like Piranha Plant in the game. He legit put blank canvases in the games. Like, the Mii's are just blank canvases. He put them in the game, and they still have creative, unique movesets. So I don't think it really matters who's in the game, as long as they're fun. I'm just a bit upset that it is Byleth, but with time to reflect on it, I get why, and I may not be inherently happy about it, but I haven't had a chance to play the character, so who knows? Maybe they might be the most fun character in the game. But, just all the people who send, like, death threats to Sakurai. I hate that. I hate it so much. Because he put so much into this game, and so does the rest of his team. And then people are just, they're ungrateful. That's what they are. And I get it. Being asked to pay $6.99, not $6.99, $5.99 for a character you didn't want, it's not great. Because people, like, if you didn't buy all the characters individually, like, if you bought the pass as a whole, you might feel like you got gypped. And that's kind of how I feel. I feel a little bit like I got gypped out of my money. I feel like that a little bit. Just because, like, the last character is legitimately an advertisement. That's what it feels like. And I know that's what Korn was like in Smash 4, but I feel like if you didn't pay, you don't have to buy the character. You don't have to. If you don't want the character, you don't have to buy them. If you bought the pass, well, you're getting the character, so I don't know. That's all my thoughts for now, I guess. I might make a follow-up on this, but for now, that's all I got. Anyway, I'll see y'all in the next video, because I don't know how to write outros. Ow, fuck.